Hi guys, welcome to this YouTube channel. I'm excited to have you on this channel today. In this tutorial, we're going to be making a birthday flyer design, and this is the finished product of what we are going to do in this tutorial. So now I'm going to go over to PSCC to show you some things I did on the background. Then from PSCC we'll fly over to Lightroom to just show you the editing I did on the image so as to get what I want for this particular design. I believe that is going to help you. So now let's go over to PSCC. So now we're on PSCC and we have the background image, right? So you can see there's a kind of a radiant light at the middle side, the top middle side of the background, right? All this came with the image itself, right? So I didn't have to do any of this at all. So what I did was to add Gaussian blur, and I added Gaussian blur by I think 20, right? So I'm not going to add any more of it, and I saved it. So that was just all I did on PSCC. Also, just in case you want to look for backgrounds like this, the keyword I used was rose flower background on Pinterest, right? And I kept searching and searching till I got the particular one I wanted. So I searched for it on Pinterest. So now let's go over to Lightroom so that I show you the editing I did on the image so as to get what I want for this particular design. I am on Lightroom already. So this particular image was gotten from Freepik. I downloaded this image from Freepik, so credit to the Freepik platform. So this image, this is not how it looks, of course. This is how it looks. This is it, the original image that I downloaded without any editing. So I needed the colors, I needed to have this depth in the colors. Photo editing for graphic designer is not necessarily the same for a photo editor who is a cameraman, someone who is known as a photographer, right? So it's different. We edit images based on what we want to do with it, what we want to achieve, but you should be able to know when it's enough, when the contrast is enough, when the saturation is enough. That is when you've learned how to use the editing tools on your photo editing platform, be it Lightroom, be it Photoshop, or whatsoever um, tool you are using to edit your images, right? So this is what I have after I worked on the image. This is the before, this is the after. So I needed the depth in the colors, right? So what I did was I went to effect, I increased the dehaze to 63, right? The dehaze is like moving all the things that like white fade, right? So if you take this back, you see that if I take this dehaze back, you see that this white fade is going to appear. And I didn't add any texture to this, right? So I think I was supposed to add texture. I did not add texture to this. So I didn't add texture, but I increased the sharpening to 82, okay, and the details to 49. All right, so I wanted it to be sharp, although I forgot to increase the textures. Coming to color, if you click on color, go to color mix, you see the red. Not, I didn't do anything with red, but you see the brown. I increased the brown to add more depth to the color on her face. So if you see, right, look how this how it is. So what I did was to increase the brown. Okay, that's a bit too much. Alright, so this is what we had before. So now that's what I did here, and you can see the texture. So now what I did was just to copy the settings, click on copy, and on this particular image, this was not how it was looking, right? So this was how it was, this is how it is now. how it was, how it is. Now this may be too saturated for some designs, right? This editing of mine may be too saturated for some designs, but for this particular design it goes very well for me. So that's it with the editing of the image. So you can see the effects, how I increased it, the details, you can see all these things. It's the same thing with the other image. So we are done here, going over to Pixellab to start the design from scratch. So guys, we are here on Pixellab and the ratio for this design is 4 by 5, and to get the size it's 4096 x 5120, 4096 x 5120. That is going to give you a better resolution. What some people use is 1024 x 1280. It will still give you the same thing, 1024 x 1280. You see 4 by 5, but if you take this to 15120 and you put your 4096, it still gives you 4 by 5, but this is a higher resolution. So now I have the background here, which I'm just going to unleash. I have the image of the lady. I have increased it already to this size, and I have the other image of the lady. So let me unlock it so you see it. Do you see, right? So I'm going to take it back. I want this tutorial to be fast. So the next thing I want to do now is to create a shape, a circle shape beneath this, and take it to the back of this lady, right? So it's not really good for our image to just be like that, so we just give something there to give it a spot, and yep, so it gives it that focus, something like that, right? So the next thing I want to do now is to create a shape. Then I'll go to gradient. So what I'll do now, I'll click here, I'll click a different color, then click on, make sure that the color at the top is the one you selected, then just go back, click on the color and reduce this to the opacity, make it transparent, right? So you have this now. Then this other remaining color, I'm going to pick a color from this, let me come to this dark spot there, and I will increase it, make it darker, take it back to make it darker. Alright, so come back here and do this like this. Right, so I'll just drag this here like this. Right, so you see that. So now that's not all. I'm going to come here to, I want it to be smooth, so I'm going to come to erase color. Of course there's no white on this, so it's not going to affect it. I'll smooth edge by 1. Right, so now I'm going to drag this down like this. Yeah, so I want it to be smooth. I don't want it to, you see the downside is so thick, right? So I don't want it, I just want it to be like, a shadow just coming from within like that. It shouldn't be on this image of hers, the one in front. So like this is okay. Then I'm going to click here. So now you see we have this, right? So I'm going to click here and click on stickers, click OK, it will disappear, undo to come to bring it back. Then I'm going to select a color, the same color I used for that fading. Then I'll select this spot, then I'll take it back. So now I just want to, you see this stuff now, this is why I'm going to keep it here. I want the shadow to just be on some part of her clothes like that, so I'm going to bring it here too. I'm going to bring it a little bit on the white, as you can see, and a little bit here also, a little bit here like this. Then I'll bring it a little bit here also, right? So I like the way the shadow is on it, makes it more realistic for me, and it's also going to help for contrast based on some things I'll be putting there. Okay, to make things not very complicated, since you're done with that, those shadow, you just merge all of them so that you don't have so many things here when scrolling. Notice I didn't merge this first fading we did here, right? So I'm going to increase the size of this shadow, right? So then the next thing I want to do is to lock it. Then this image of hers, the one that is big, I'm going to click on the erase color before I forget. Alright, so green is selected, and I smooth the edge by 2. So you select a color that is not on the image and smooth it by 2, sometimes by 1. So now what I want to do is to bring in my happy birthday text, which I downloaded, and I will select the color white. Alright, so this is the birthday text, and the next thing is her name, and the name is Jennifer Anderson Chisholm. Alright, so the font I'm going to use for this is Montserrat, and I'll select Montserrat. I'm going to use semi-bold. Then I'll select, go to color, drag this here, then drag this here, just using a color that is going to blend, that is not necessarily white but bright, and it blends also. Alright, so have this here like that. That's her name. So the next thing I want to do is type in, okay, I'm going to bring in this write-up. Now this write-up is not necessary, right? It's not really necessary. I just did it to just add fun to the design like that. So I just did it for fun. So sometimes it's not that it's necessary. And yep, I did not have to create the write-up myself. AI did the write-up for me, just to add that spice there to the design. So I'm going to come to Montserrat, and I'll select extra light. Yeah, so you see that like this. So now we have the things we'll be using to, some of the things we'll be using to spice up the design. It's called confetti. So this gold confetti, and this is not like the colored kind of confetti like that. So this was not the one I used in that other, the initial one I made. So I'm just going to move this here like this. This is going to come to like this, right? Then I'll copy it and bring it over like this to the side. Then this guy, I'm going to rotate it like this, leave it like this, copy it, and just bring it like this. So I'm going to rotate it like this. You know, the challenge with most designers is, you know, when they have things like this, how to, you know, how to position these things. And that's why you need to be feeding your eyes on the designs of others. So we have that there. And so what I want to do now is to crop this, some parts here that I don't want to show. Alright, so we are good. So the next thing I want to write now is, there is a +1 I did, so I'm just going to crop, reduce this like this. I'm going to copy it and reduce it, then bring it. See, I'm rotating it like this. It's going to form a shape. I'm going to reduce it. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to merge those two shapes. So I'm going to select a color that blends. So let's say this color. Does it go? Yep. So to front. So I'm going to move this stuff. So we're just going to drag this. I'm going to lock this confetti, then drag this to front. Then we're going to click on plus, then add text, then click +1. So I'm going to move this here. Yeah, so I'm moving this here, and I'll click on font. Then I'm going to use Akira for this. Alright, so you see I just have an issue here and everything I've done just scattered. So I'm going to go to recover to save, click on recover to save, and it's going to return back. So go to fonts and click on Akira. So let me save this as a project. Come in, let me do this. Let me just save this image. So you may ask, why am I saving it? It works for me. I don't know if it's going to work for you. Once I save an image, it's like this. It prevents a lot of things. I don't know why, but once I just save the image, not saving it as project, I'm not going to have that issue happen again. So if I've done that before, this thing that just happened wouldn't have happened. So maybe you want to try it out on Pixel App. So I'm just going to save this as birthday. So now I'm going to add the +1 here. So we're going to reduce this, bring to front and bring it here like this. Alright, so now we want to add the date. So we'll click on February. So what font are we using for this? I hope I see the font. Let me come to my recent. So we're using August Light for this. February. So then February 24 dots. Okay, let's use this dots, this other dots. 2025. Okay, doesn't work, so let me just use the normal dots. So now I have this like this here. Alright, so I want to click on this to move this confetti here. Right, then bring this a little bit like this, and this a little bit like this. And with this, we are done with the birthday design. Right, so I think this is a little bit, bring this down. Yeah, so guys, we are done with the birthday design. So the next thing now is to save. So what I'm going to do, save as image. I'm just going to change this to PNG. This is high format 4096 5120, so I'm not going to click ultra. I'll leave it at custom because I want it to save with this dimension, right, with this resolution. So saving to gallery, and that is it. So I'll go over to Snapseed. If you've watched the Koinonia flyer designs, you see how I do my editing on Snapseed, right? So if I increase the sharpness and the structure on Snapseed, you see the dark area, I erase it from the dark spots. Do you get the point now? It's only going to be majorly on the face on certain areas that are bright, but the dark area I raise the sharpness. Do you get the point now? Thank you for watching and see you in the next tutorial. Please don't leave. If you are yet to subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video and leave a comment before leaving. Bye.